Hello there, love, and welcome back to the Vital Goddess podcast. So in this episode, we're going to talk about building a legacy of love and the new moon in Capricorn. Now, before we dive in, I just want to say that you do not have to be into astrology for this to be supportive. Tuning into the lunar rhythms like the new moon and the full moon can be super supportive as we start to navigate midlife, menopause, and beyond. I know from my own experience, that's when I started to get interested in the lunar rhythm and astrology in general. But again, you don't have to be into astrology for this to really land for you. So we're talking more about the energy infusing this new moon period. And I think it has a lot to offer in terms of bringing more balance and harmony into our lives and really cultivating our lives from the inside out. And again, building a legacy of love. So if that sounds good, let's dive right in. Well, hello there, beautiful. Welcome back to the Vital Goddess podcast. If you've been here before and you're tuning in again, it is always so much more fun when you are here along for the ride. So welcome back. And if you are brand new, just tuning in for the very first time, well, I am thrilled you're here. Over the moon, actually, and I'm going to be talking about the moon in just a moment. But again, thrilled you're here, giving it a try. So welcome, welcome. So in today's episode, I want to talk about building a legacy of love. Maybe say that with me, building a legacy of love. Those are three powerful words. So we're going to dive into that. I want to talk about the new moon in Capricorn and how that relates to this. Yin and yang, or feminine and masculine power, mindset healing, and embodied love. Now that's a lot to pack into an episode, but I'm going to do my darndest and you inspire me. So we're going to dive into that in just a moment. But before we do, I just want to say this. You don't have to be into astrology or follow the moon closely for this episode to support you. For me, tuning into the rhythm of the new moon and the full moon became important, especially meaningful, really, during midlife, when I started to go through perimenopause and menopause. When our hormones change and we no longer orient around our monthly bleed, the lunar rhythm can be such a beautiful, soothing balm, a grounding, stabilizing pulse that can bring us back into our rhythm again. So it's less about believing in anything in terms of astrology and more about giving your body permission to tune in to the rhythm of the moon, right? To tune into a rhythm and to listen again. We just do that automatically when we are, menstruating. When that goes away, we have to be a little bit more conscious or intentional, maybe you'd want to say, about finding that rhythm, finding that connection to the rhythms of the earth, the rhythms of the moon, and what makes us feel more fully alive. Because life, is rhythm. And in our modern lifestyles, it's really easy to get arrhythmic, and that could actually really throw us off and doesn't feel good in the body. Your body loves rhythm. So that's my intention behind sharing these new moon and full moon podcast episodes with you. So, and also this episode feels like a really important threshold moment for me. It's our final episode before we begin our spring 2026 semester in my group program, the Vital Goddess Mastery Program. Women have already been arriving and settling into the temple with some of the foundational practices. And some truly beautiful, heartwarming shares are already flowing. And it just melts my heart. Yeah. Recently, I uploaded my newly remastered Jade Rebirth program into this space. It's my Jade Egg program. And if you listen to the previous episode, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you might want to circle back and learn what that's all about. But the women have been exploring the new foundational practices in that newly remastered program. And oh my gosh, I'm just receiving this just with so much joy. And again, truly makes my heart sing and inspires me to no end, where when I hear women say, I feel so nourished, I feel so grounded, I feel like I connected to my love, I just melted into my love, I connected to my radiance of this is something I want to come back to again and again. Comments like that, just amazing. So that's the kind of vibe that's going on in there already. And we begin our very first live salon on the 21st. So there's time to join. So if you've been following along and have been considering joining us, now is the perfect time to take that next step.
You can dive into the full enchilada program, which will support you lifelong, or you can dip your baby toe in for the first 5 weeks with us in our Taste of the Temple portal. That's just an initiation that I've created for women at a very doable price. You'll get full access to our community, full access to my Jade Rebirth, Jade Egg Mastery program while you're in there. You'll get invites to 5 of our foundational live salons on Zoom, which are amazing. You get the replays of those as well for $99. And then after that initiatory period of Taste of the Temple, which ends on the 19th of February, you can decide, yes, I want to stay on. This is amazing. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Or you're welcome to move on, maybe come back later, whatever feels right for you, right? This is zero pressure. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to get inside the space so you can really feel what it's like in there, meet the other goddesses who are, again, amazing, and really get a feel for how I teach, how I guide, and how I hold space, which is really important. So if you know in your bones this is going to serve you, I would love to see you on the inside. You'll find the links to check all of that out, all the details in the show notes. All right, so let's talk about building a legacy of love. New moon in Capricorn, yin and yang, power, mindset healing, and embodied love. So I've been sitting with the energy of this upcoming new moon in Capricorn, again happening on the 18th of January, as I prepare for this episode, and something started to really stir in me, especially as I've been hearing so many conversations about choosing a word for the year. And I think it's a beautiful practice. It could be really fun to do and help give us focus and clarity. And what I found myself asking myself or thinking about is, what if one word isn't enough, right? Simplicity is great, don't get me wrong, but one word doesn't seem quite enough for the multidimensional truth and the wholeness of who we are. So what if this season, this new year and this new moon in Capricorn is asking us to hold more nuance, more truth, more balance, and more devotion to the wholeness of who we are? And this new moon, again, feels so sturdy and powerful and supportive of that. The kind of power that can really root us and ground us. So Capricorn is often associated with ambition, discipline, and legacy. And I want to expand that a bit. I want to expand that whole concept of legacy for us. Not legacy as hustle and achievement, but legacy as what lives on because of how you loved, what you've created, the unique contribution that you make to this world just by being you, by being the love that you are. This new moon is also conjunct Pluto. Now, Pluto is always asking us to tell the truth about our inner power. Not power over. It's not about dominating version of power, but power within, embodied power, embodiment. And Pluto also works in the realm of emotion, right? Really honoring our emotional experience without gaslighting ourselves, telling the truth. Pluto strips away what's performative and invites us into what's truly enduring, especially under this new moon in Capricorn. It's asking us, what are you building that can actually hold your life force, that essence of who you are? Your pleasure, your creativity, and your love are a huge part of that, not just what you do, right? Not what you do, how you be as well. So here's what's been alive for me. Instead of choosing one word of the year, I decided to start to work with 2, a yin word and a yang word. So your yin word reflects how you receive life, how you open to joy and pleasure, how you soften, how you let life flow through you, how you nourish yourself, how you listen to yourself, to your body. Your yang word reflects how you move in the world, make a mark, how you act, 3D world, how you create from that place, and how you bring energy, inspiration, vision into form. And when these 2 are in relationship, not in competition, they create an elixir. Just like lovers, they create an elixir. And for me, that elixir is love. Not love as a sentiment, or not even love as a verb, but love as a lived frequency. So you could say that I actually have 3 words. My yin word that I've chosen is flow. And by flow, I mean fluid in my movement, flow for sure, more flow in all of the movement practices, including the jade egg that I do, but also just flow in everyday life, more ease, more trust, more surrendering to the flow, allowing, again, life force to move through me. And for my yang word, I chose strength. I've been very interested in my physical strength lately, strengthening my bones and muscles, my core for sure, but also the strength of building structure around me in my home and also in the temple that I hold for women. I've been putting a lot of focus on building that from a very strong, grounded place. This has been operational for a while now, but I'm really feeling it come more alive in this portal. You know the line from that movie, Field of Dreams, that's what it is. If you build it, they will come. That has been a line that keeps coming back to me. So it's like, yeah, we have to build the structure of the temple. And for me, that's an online structure to create that safety so that this vision of women dropping into their feminine power can actually exist on the planet. So I got my yin word, flow, my yang word, strength, and together the meta word that they create is love. So there's another layer in this new moon that feels important to name. Mars is involved with Chiron right now in a square, inviting a healing of how we relate to the masculine within us and outside of us as well. But it all starts from within. How we relate to masculine action, effort, and will. For many women, this can be tender territory. I get it, right? We've learned to push. We've learned to override the body and emotions. We've learned to over-yang our lives. And this is an invitation to do some healing work and to really inquire, like, what does aligned action really feel like inside my body? And what does it feel like to act without abandoning myself? So how can we bring in that self-respect, that honoring of the wholeness of who we are? And this new moon doesn't want more force or more hustle, even though it's in Capricorn, right? It wants integration. And then there's Mercury, also in a square with Chiron, conjunct with Mars, which brings in healing into the mind, the way we think, the stories we repeat, the habit of trying to figure everything out before trusting ourselves or overriding our intuition. When you know, and how often do you let your mind talk you out of it, that kind of thing. The limiting beliefs that we don't question. This is asking us to question them. So many of us have been trained to over-yang the mind, to overvalue the logical, to live in the left brain, to analyze, to plan, to optimize, to manage, to white knuckle. And this square isn't here to shame any of that well-intentioned effort, perhaps, right? It's here to soften it and to bring in more balance, inviting us all into more balance, to remember that our imagination is intelligence and that intuition is a form of knowing, and that symbolism and poetry and beauty and mystery are sacred and they belong in how we make meaning of life. This new moon asks us to heal that split between the masculine, rational mind and the feminine, the imaginative, the magical, mystical mind. You don't have to choose one over the other, but how do we get them more into a loving, harmonious relationship? Let them collab. So what I'd love to do now is to bring this into an embodiment practice. That's how we roll here. So you can do this seated or lying down, your choice. But just find yourself cozying in. Let your jaw soften, let your shoulders melt. It's really nice to take a hand on your heart and one on your lower belly, the womb space. And I want to guide you through one of our signature meditations. Toes in the sand, hands on the clay is one of my nicknames for it. But basically, this is where we can access the frequency of love that lives within us in a very feminine way. We find it through pleasure. And we're going to use the power of your right brain, your imagination, to bring that in. And from that genius place, feel in to that yin-yang balance that wants to emerge in you. So, take a deep breath in through the nose and a deep sigh with a ha sound. And taking that a few times is always a great way to begin. Nice cleansing breath. And that ha sound, sacred healing sound from the Taoist tradition that just opens the heart and also connects us to the power of the womb space. I invite you into an experience that you've had where you just felt you were in your pleasure. This is the toes in the sand part. Now, for many women, that's usually an experience they've had in nature. Now, for you, that might be literally toes in the sand at the beach. Or, especially if you have Venus in Capricorn, you might be in the mountains. Your place might be in the mountains, in the trees. But trust, whatever comes up for you, you're in your pleasure. You're feeling so good, not excited, just that calm state of pleasure is what we're looking for here. It just feels so good to be alive. And I want you to, with your mind's eye, close your eyes if you haven't already, really see your landscape. Where are you? Take in all the details. Are you alone? With others? Maybe there's an animal companion with you. Notice your landscape. Trees, birds, beach, waves. And what are you hearing? What's the soundscape of your landscape? And let yourself hear it now. Bring yourself there. And is there a taste in your mouth? If you reached out your hands and touched your landscape, what would you feel? And if you took your hands to your own body, what would you feel? Skin, textiles, what are you wearing? And what is the scent of this experience? And I invite you to breathe it in now, in through the nose. Exhale. Just let the exhale fall out of your body. And as you breathe in this scent, coming into that ocean breath, tidal rhythm, inhale and exhale. Feeling you in your pleasure. Pleasure is a portal into your love, into your radiance, into your genius, into your love. And as you continue breathing, just feeling into that yin part of you, without any force, just noticing what comes up, what feels good, what would feel really beautiful to move more deeply into, or to surrender more deeply into. And feeling into your yang, your masculine. Notice what comes up in terms of structure, container that would support your feminine, your yin. It would give it a space to be, to breathe. so that you can land more deeply the essence of love that you are. This legacy of love that you're building. And taking a few more deep breaths here. And gently opening your eyes when you're ready. Yeah, so this new year, this new moon in Capricorn, it's in perfect timing. It isn't asking you to become anybody new, no more new you. It's really asking you to commit lovingly to who you've been all along. So yes, Dorothy, this has always been in you, this love. It's who you are, and there's no place like home. You get to build structures that support your pleasure. You get to move in ways that honor your body, and you get to think in ways that leave room for joy, bliss, and wonder. So let this year be the one where your love is the architect. So grateful for you. Again, links in the show notes will invite you into a deeper dive in 2026. I'd love to support you on that journey. Until next time, take care.